Okay, I want to do a quick little tutorial here about how to graph equations or graph a parabola from its equation. So you should already know what each of these things here represent on your parabola. And it's important to note that this squared here gives us the shape of the parabola. Now, these are parabolas that have no stretch factor to them at all. We'll be getting into that a little bit later, but right now we're just going to look at these parabolas that have no stretch. They're all the same basic shape. Now, here's where the shape comes from. If we move over from the vertex, we have to move up or down, depending on whether the parabola opens up or down, the square of what we move over. So if I move over 1, I move up or down 1 squared, which is 1. If I move over 2 from the vertex, I move up or down 2 squared, which is 4. When I move over 3 from the vertex, I move up or down 3 squared. Now 3 squared is 3 times 3, so that's 9. And so on and so forth. 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is 25, and so on and so forth. So how does this help us with a parabola? Well, we already know how to pick out what the vertex is from an equation. So this equation has not moved left or right at all. So that means that its vertex has a 0 in the x factor. That's no left or right shift. And it's moved up 5. So the vertex is at the point 0, 5. So I'm going to go and put a dot on 0, 5. And now we're going to use this to graph all of the other points on the parabola. So this negative here tells us that the parabola is pointing downwards. So that means when I move over from the vertex, I'm going to go down. And I'm going to follow this pattern. I'm going to go over 1 from the vertex, go down 1. Then I go back to the vertex, and I move over 2 from the vertex. And this tells me I have to go down 4. So over 2, 1, 2, down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's the same on both sides of the parabola. Over 3 is going to be down 9. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here's down 9, and it's the same on the other side of the parabola. So you can see that we're getting this nice smooth curved parabola shape. Now let's take a look at some of the other ones here. This one tells us where the vertex is here. Remember, when it's in the brackets, we have to take the opposite sign. So the vertex is -3, 7. Now I'm going to put that point on there. That's the vertex, and from there we're going to graph all other points on the vertex. So we're going to go backwards 3 and up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's our vertex at -3, 7. And then we just use this pattern. Now this one is opening up because there's no negative there. So over 1, up 1. Over 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's all I'm going to be able to fit of this parabola on here. Just try to draw a nice smooth parabola shape through it if you can. This one's a little pointy on the bottom. Try not to do that if you can help it. Next parabola. This has a vertex of, this has been moved 6 spaces, and since it's negative, we know it's gone to the right. Right is usually a positive direction, but when we have it in the brackets, it appears negative in there. So we're going to go right 6 spaces, and then there's nothing on the end, which means it hasn't gone up or down, so the vertex is 6, 0. Let's put that on the graph here, 6, 0, and then we're just going to use this pattern again. Over 1, up 1. Over 2, up 4. Over 3, up 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's enough there to draw our nice smooth parabola curve. We'll go one more. This last one here, we got to try to find the vertex of it to start with. So we know we have to use this 8 and the -3, and remember that we have to take the opposite sign of what's in there. So -8, -3. So, and notice there's a negative out here, which means that it's going to open down. So I'm going to graph this point, -8, -3, and then I'm going to use this pattern again. Now remember, this pattern just came from squaring whatever I went over. Over 1, up or down 1 squared. Over 2, up or down 2 squared. Over 3, up or down 3 squared. And so on and so forth. So over 1, down 1. Over 2, down 1, 2, 3, 4. And I won't be able to put 9 on here, so we'll just draw a nice smooth parabola through there. Now something else that I might ask you to do is if I give you a parabola, I might ask you to give me the equation. So you need to remember that the equation are always written in this form. Y equals, and then there's brackets if it's shifted left or right, and we have a squared. And then there's either whatever it's up or down goes on the end of it. And there's always an x at the beginning. So let's have a quick look at some of these ones here. Well, let's do the black one first, since I've got a black pen on here. So we'll do this black one here. Now it has no left or right shift. So since it has no left or right shift, we don't need brackets. We just have an x squared. And then it's been moved down, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, down 8 spaces, and so I need a minus 8 on the end. So that's the black one. Let's do the red one. The red one has been shifted backwards 3 and down 2. So when we write it, since it has a left or right shift, I need brackets, and it's gone backwards 3 spaces, which normally would seem like we would put minus 3 in there, but when it's in the brackets, we have to put the opposite sign. Now don't forget the squared on the brackets, and it's down 2 spaces, so we have to go subtract 2. Now let's do the green one. The green one has no up or down shift, which means that it's going to have nothing after the brackets. So put brackets down, we're going to have an x in here, don't forget the squared on the brackets, and it's moved forward 5 spaces, which means we have to have a minus 5 in here. And blue, way over here, it has no up or down shift either, which means that it's only going to be a bracket, and it's moved backwards 10 spaces. So it should have an x plus 10 in here. And don't forget your squared on your brackets. And the very last one, the purple one way over here, that vertex is at 10 and negative 6. So when we write that equation, we're going to go y equals x, and it's 10 forward, so it has to be minus 10 squared, and then it's been shifted down, so that's negative 6 on the end. Now one last thing, these last two, they're in opposite direction from the ones that we saw before, which means that to get them to be in opposite direction so that they're not opening up but opening down, we have to put a negative in front of it. So there should have been a negative in front of this one as well. And I hope that just clears up a few things, gives you a few more examples to look at.